It's borderline impossible to save money.
Happiness was in the 90s. We just want to live.
Let me say it again. It is impossible to budget your way out of poverty.
Being poor is more expensive.
Everything is so freaking expensive.
I am making more money than I ever have in my entire life, and I'm still struggling.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy J2ASMS, and I'm back with another video for y'all. Today what we're gonna be getting into is some more complaint talk. I've got a bunch of clips of real life people complaining about how expensive the economy is and how it's banging. That's crazy. Let me walk that back. Doing a number on, sounds too corny. How times are really hard and the economy is really causing a lot of problems for a lot of people. If you guys rock with your boy, start the journey on becoming more financially literate and more aware to the different social dynamics and different things going on in the world, toss me a like and a sub on the video. It really helps for the YouTube algorithm, so I would greatly appreciate it. I love y'all. Let's get into our first clip.
I feel like single family households are set up for failure because why do I have to get a second part-time job just to live comfortably when my other full-time job makes over $25 an hour? And I know I'm not the only one. Like, there's a problem in our country.
The United States national debt is set to hit $1.2 trillion this year. Trillion with a T on it, a T. That is absolutely insane. That is a Mount Everest amount of debt. A lot of people are spending more money than what they actually have and going into infinite amounts of debt to have lifestyles that they cannot afford and buying things that they do not need. And that is putting a lot of people in a very tough situation.
But I want it now!
Are there people that are just in really tough situations and are struggling to get by for the bare necessities of life? Yes. Are there people that are struggling to get by and afford the bare necessities of life that are choosing to take their money and buy the other things that we discussed and a lot of their problems are self-inflicted? Also yes. Just keep in mind that number, $1.2 trillion is the United States credit card debt. That's not even car debt, that's just credit card debt alone, $1.2 trillion. People are spending some money that they don't got. Don't let it be you.
Why is everything so expensive? Can we just exist without paying money? Can we live without paying money? Oh, money can buy you happiness. In this economy, money buys you the willingness to even live, not even happiness. Happiness was in the 90s. We just want to live. It's so crazy. Why is everything crazy expensive?
Things are very expensive, but it depends. What are you buying? If you buy a Mercedes AMG and you ain't got Mercedes AMG money, but you got 2004 Honda money, you know what I'm saying? You gotta weigh the options. You should absolutely never do like a 6 or 7 year term on a car to take out a loan and pay 17% interest. You know what I'm saying? Something astronomically absurd just to have a car. Because two things. One, you can't afford it. And two, if you get it, another car head might be like, damn, that's a cool car. And you might enjoy driving it. But if you're doing it for status, nobody cares. You can only do it for your own personal enjoyments for so long before the payments start coming through and make you not start enjoying the experience as much. Think stuff through before y'all buy stuff. I think happiness can exist now. It's just you got to be a little bit smarter about how you go about spending your money, managing your money, and making money.
It is some stuff I'm not paying for in this economy. And that's coming from someone who don't mind spending money. But some of these pricings are getting out of hand.
Some people survive on drowning in debt. Some people are very good at managing their money. Some people don't have any money and they really aren't surviving. And some people make a ton of bread and they're thriving and money don't really mean nothing to them. But again, as I always say, which category is you trying to fall into? Like, a lot of it is in your control.
I get so sick and tired of seeing the financial advice being given on here. It just seems very tone deaf. Not everyone has the same level of financial security, which we already know. But some of y'all are telling people to budget and cut spending and this and that. You cannot cut spending or out budget a bad economy. Like we're seeing in real time, massive layoffs, jobs not hiring, the smoke and mirrors being lifted, unemployment at an all-time high, and y'all are telling people to cut out coffee. As if buying a coffee is gonna be the reason make or break the budget for this month. Like, y'all are telling people to cut everything they do that brings them a little bit of joy in this messed up world. As if that's going to do anything. Like, I seen a person saying that rich people right now are not spending, they're saving everything they have. And the truth is, rich people are still confused if we're in a recession or not. They're still investing, they're still moving as if nothing's changed. Because they literally bank off chaos and destruction like this happening to the average person so they can make their money. People acting like we can just budget and cut spending when everything is literally crap right now is insane to me.
I mean, she's absolutely right about a few things that she said, and she's very wrong about some other things she said. Billionaires are absolutely benefiting off of people that don't have money, spending money either in the interest that they're making off of people on credit cards or just consumer debt from, you know, people buying luxury brands or going out to restaurants or different things, whoever the owners are of those companies, they are 1000% still spending money, and they probably don't feel the effects of anything, to be honest. But then you have a tier down. You have people that probably have a lot of money. Maybe they're not wealthy, but they're well off, and they're making 300K, but they're also spending 300K. And so they're still broke as well. They might even be spending more money than what they have. They're even broker than the people that don't have any money because they're living above their means still. What she was saying is something that I completely disagree with. You can't budget your way out of poverty. And let me tell you, you absolutely can budget your way out of poverty. Losing your job or different things like that, obviously, yes, if you don't have a stable income, it's very difficult to get into a better situation. So that would be your first step, is to, how can I find a better, more stable job?
Because when I need a job done, I get someone with a job to do that job.
That in and of itself is an entirely different conversation. For those of y'all that do have jobs and you are in some type of substantial debt, or you feel like you're not making enough money, people say, oh, cut out your coffee. I think it's the overall mindset and message of the coffee, where it's like, a lot of the things that, you know, maybe are a luxury that you can go without, cut those things. Maybe you don't take 2 vacations a year. Maybe you don't take any vacation for a year. Maybe you don't go out and eat and do all these things. Like, you're gonna have to make a certain sacrifice. If you live above your means and got yourself into a hole, into some substantial debt, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of the stuff that you used to having because you were living above your means. So in order to get out of that hole, yeah, you're gonna have to put your big girl, big boy pants on and make some major sacrifices for a little bit so that you can enjoy a lot of time doing the things that you enjoy later on. Depending on how much debt you're in, how bad a position you put yourself in, that's going to determine how long you have to sacrifice. But it absolutely is worth it. But they do the little social experiment with the kids. It's like, I'm going to leave this cookie on the table and you can have 2 cookies when I come back if you don't eat this cookie. What do most of the kids do? They're like, man, I ain't trying to hear nothing about that second cookie. I'm going to eat this 1 cookie right now. And so they get to munching on the 1 cookie. Nom, 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 nom. The guy comes back and he's like, oh, because you had the 1 cookie, now you're not getting the second cookie. And they're like, why? I want the guy. Well, you didn't sacrifice. A lot of the smart people, that's the ones that do have the money to still spend. Maybe it's not necessarily that they're making a ton of bread, but they're just really good about managing the money that they do have. Them are the 2 cookie folk. Try to be a 2 cookie folk.
How are y'all affording stuff right now? I feel like we're not talking enough about this. Everything is so freaking expensive. I know I'm not the only one going through this. I mean, from groceries, clothes, everything is so expensive right now, and it's literally by the grace of God that me and my family are surviving. I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who doesn't make the type of money that I make. And I don't even make a lot of money. But like, this is really a struggle. How are we surviving?
As I mentioned, there's a lot of different ways people survive. Some people survive on drowning in debt. Some people are very good at managing their money. And some people don't have any money and they really aren't surviving. And some people make a ton of bread and they're thriving and money don't really mean nothing to them. But again, as I always say, which category is you trying to fall into? A lot of it is in your control.
It's so crazy to me how much just like snacks in general has gone up in price. Because what do you mean that a bag of chorizo, which is technically a meal, $5.35 for a pound, costs about the same as a bag of chips? And a bag of chips literally has 0 nutritional value. Food and the price of snacks are now the exact same. Before, buying a snack was cheaper than a pack of chicken breast. Now it's about the same, and the nutritional value that both of them have does not equal anymore. To me, that's like really, really crazy how much prices just in general when it comes to like pantry items have just shot up.
If you go to a gas station or some type of convenience store, yeah, snacks are going to be OD overpriced because they know you're still going to pay whatever price it is because it's a quick stop shop, it's convenient, and they know they can make bread off you. Versus if you go to like a BJ's or some type of different place where you can buy in bulk. I don't know around the country the different places, but out here in Massachusetts we have BJ's. If you actually go to the grocery store and shop at like a Market Basket versus a Stop and Shop that's super overpriced and expensive, then there are different ways that you can get around saving prices. Another thing that's a pro tip, jump around to different stores. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to one specific place or grabbing a quick Monster or energy drink that a lot of people like to have at one place or at the gas station, go buy in bulk from an actual grocery store. Or maybe check the different coupons online, or if you still get them in the mail, like in the little magazines that come, and see where the different discounts are. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing as driving around looking at gas. Like, I'm sure in your neighborhood or in your city, you're used to looking up at the gas and you can tell, oh, this place usually has a little bit cheaper, or that's super expensive, I'm not going there. It's the same thing. Sometimes you got to put a little bit more effort into things in life to see the long-term benefit. Usually things that come easy is bad for you.
The cost of living is 3 times as much as it needs to be. Gas is expensive, but it's the cheapest thing that we have right now. Groceries are 3 times more than they need to be. My coffee, my simple coffee, used to be $10 for a big thing of coffee. Now is $21. What the hell? Come on. When is it going to get better? You can't afford to do anything. So now everybody on here I know is on TikTok trying to monetize just to have a little supplemental income so that we can enjoy some of the things in life. Because I've cut out everything. I don't get my toes done no more. I don't get my hair done at a salon anymore. I don't do anything fun. You can't afford to. I'm just surviving day to day. Go to work, come home.
She's staying home. She's not doing a whole lot. She doesn't have a lot of money going out. That's a good thing. If you're in a financially struggling situation, that is what you should be doing for a certain period of time. However, if she's not able to save, some other things are a little bit out of whack. Like either she has a home that she can't afford, her rent's too high in the apartment that she is staying at for her income. Maybe she has a ton of kids and maybe like them going for college or just some other things are putting her in a tough spot. Something is out of line, because if you're not doing anything, you don't have a lot of money going out. That means that your overhead is too high. Like you have too many things that are taken away from the money that you do have, so that she's not able to do anything. So I would advise, like, you know, if I was in her situation, looking at the things that you do have and maybe cutting back on some of the major things that you can cut back. Or maybe if you're in some type of major debt, change your behavior first. Look into trying to consolidate, which just means take all your different debts that you have that have a high interest and put them together so that you can get a lower rate. Or, you know, worst case scenario is file for bankruptcy and then, you know, you're not able to use any type of credit for 7 years. But hey, maybe if you're someone that got into a bad situation, that's not the worst thing. Your credit's probably already shot anyways, so, you know, maybe it's a clean slate and you just never look back and do it again. It's hard to do it when you're someone that's like, you know, her age, or maybe you're just like an older head, but hey, you do what you got to do.
Not gonna lie, in this economy, some of these like videos telling people to save and budget comes off a little tone deaf. Because it's like we're already in a terrible economy, we're in a recession, and it's like you can't out-save a bad economy. In order to save, you have to have disposable income. Most people do not have disposable income. And I don't really want to hear anything about, oh, well, you don't need the fast food and you don't need this, you don't need that. Groceries are so expensive. I just saw a girl say that she bought 10 items for $80. I just saw another woman say formula is $75. You can't out-save that. And there are people with strenuous circumstances. You know what I mean? There are people literally living in so much poverty right now. Even McDonald's is expensive right now. Some of this really does come off tone deaf. And I'm not going to say that there aren't people who are like recklessly spending money trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to put up a facade that they're doing well. Yeah, you know what I mean? That happens all the time, even in a good economy. But I'm just saying that some of the, you know, save your money, you overspend, this, that, the third, it just comes off a little tone deaf. Like, let's be so serious right now. Cost of living is going up. Wages are not going up with it. It makes sense that people are spending more than they're making.
I can understand how she would think that, right? If you're someone that, you know, is just looking at things at face value and just hearing people, especially if it's people that haven't been in you know, certain different type of situations that aren't good, maybe, you know, the person that you're hearing it from is not who you want to hear it from or whatever. But that's why I'm trying to come into the space, you know, into the financial space as a black man, to try and bring some more awareness and point out some things to maybe give people a little bit more direction and some more information. She absolutely is right. There are a ton of people that do spend a bunch of bread that they don't have and go into enormous amounts of credit card debt, you know, trying to fund certain types of extravagant lifestyles, or, you know, even just more lifestyle than what they can afford. Absolutely true. On the other hand, there are people that are actually genuinely struggling to get by. However, you got to dig a little bit deeper and look at the different reasons why. As I said, the average consumer debt in the United States is $1.2 trillion. So people in the US is spending some money. The average monthly car note in the US is $749. That is absolutely insane. And when you throw on crazy interest rates now, where like the car dealerships are cooking people with 17+% interest rates over like 7-year loans, that's crazy.
You're pretty much financially
right now.
Student loans. Like, people go into college, don't understand student loans. They don't understand what they're signing up for. They take out $100,000 to go to Ohio State or wherever versus just going to like a local state college to get a job that they could have probably got without going to high school. And now they're in infinite amounts of debt before they even start their life. Like, these are different things that you got to think about and consider for yourself. Using the internet as different tools or listening to different voices like myself, if your parents aren't people that, you know, are aware themselves or and able to pass that information down to you so that you know where you're getting into before you get into it. Because let's just take those two things for example. If you got 30 grand, for most people is like a reasonable amount that you would owe in like your personal student loan. Let's say that's $135 monthly payment, and then that you take the average US car payment, that's $749. You take that together, that's, you know, just shy of about $1,000 that is immediately going out just for car and, you know, student loans. Then you throw on top of that rent is super expensive and it's something that a lot of people will have to pay. And so if you throw rent on top of it, let's say you're paying $1,100, now you're already probably over half of what most people get paid on a monthly basis. And people still, as she's saying, want to live, go out to eat, get their little McDanks, go to movies and do all these other things that cost money. Go to the clubs, a drink could be $17. Like, very quickly you start using that money up. Something I learned from watching Caleb Hammer's show is people don't even realize how much money they make, let alone how much they spend. And what they spend is usually double what they think they spend. And people don't track this stuff. So it's like, it's easy to say, yo, my money just disappeared, where it's going. But if it's something that you're not tracking, then obviously you have no idea what's happening or what's going on. It's a combination of things. Like, there is truth to what you said, but at the same time, people need to be just more well informed on how they spend their bread when they get it.
This economy be like, okay, how are we spending so much money a month? Let's go over our budget and see what the is going on. Okay, we spent $400 at what place for that? Why did we spend so much money there? We got two things. $400? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, what other place? $2,200? I don't think I even make that much in a month. How the did that happen? Jesus Christ! Emma's gonna have to retire and, just live under a rock. Cause this is bullshit.
Stuff's expensive, man. People be spending a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. If you don't track it, you don't know where it's going. Even Elmo ain't keeping track of his finances. You know what I'm saying? Elmo was supposed to have bank. He's been on Sesame Street stacking coins since 1990. If Elmo's broke, we screwed.
I came to Target to buy like some essential things that I've needed that I've run out already, and I needed to restock. Tell me why I spent close to $60 on like not even a full bag. Like, honestly, $60. What the heck? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, is this expensive just to look decent and to just have good hygiene? It's absolutely insane. Like, I don't understand. I am so stressed out. And like, I told my best friend today, I was like, I need you to help me budget. Like, I need you to help me like just get all my finances in order, get it secured, because I have a lot of stuff happening this year and I need to be okay. So she and I are going to do that next week. I literally just quit my second job because I wanted to spend more time and have more time on myself. I didn't have time to do anything, like the whole walking every day, and I didn't have time for that. I'm glad that I took that time because I really needed it. My mental health was like not good at all, like, honestly. But at the same time, it's like I needed that second job for real. Because that extra money, like, yo, it helped a lot. But the fact is, no one should have to work 2 jobs to survive.
It depends where you going to shop. Stop and Shop, that's going to cost you a lot more money for 2 items than if you go and get the 2 items from Price Right or Market Basket or a place like that. But I'm proud of this queen, man. She said she's going to sit down with her homegirl and come up with a budget in order to get her finances in order. I'm proud. Man, chat, stand up. 3 claps in the chat for this queen. She's getting her shit together, man. Respect. Respect on it. It's a lot easier to understand where your money's going when you're tracking it. And honestly, I'm sure there's a lot of areas where it should be like, damn, I didn't even realize I was spending that much. And be able to cut certain things out, move some things around, and also taking care of their mental health. You know what I'm saying? If you're actually keeping track and managing your money well and doing the right thing, maybe she won't have to work that second job. And then, as she said, she's able to do a lot more things that she wants to do that will be helpful for her mental health, like going to the gym and other things that can help you make more money as an investment in yourself, and also just help your well-being and overall health. It's just good. A lot of good things come from taking care of your finances and taking your life seriously, guys. I'm telling you.
I know I'm not the only adult that sits in their car wondering how they're making the most money they've ever made in their entire life, and it still doesn't seem to be enough. My rent is $2,000 a month and I live in a townhouse. My car note is $535 a month, and that's on the low end compared to what I see a lot of people pay. My car insurance is $370 between 2 vehicles. And every time I turn around, that shit's going up, and they can't even tell you why, other than that the rates have increased. But I just went and spent $100 on chips, bread. Oh, don't forget the $10 eggs. You rent from these companies and they penny pinch you on every thing that they can. We are being bullied into poverty by these corporations and billionaires. I don't understand how the families that are living off $15 an hour, like, how are you doing it? How do you pay your rent? What do you do when your car breaks down? I don't know, dude. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I'm blessed compared to a lot of people, and it's still hard.
My queen. My queen. Come here. Come here. You're living above your means, my guy. You're living above your means, my guy. $2,000 for rent, that's a lot. I don't care who you are, how much bread you got. $2,000 a month for rent, especially if she live by herself, that's a good amount. You could probably cut that in half, get that down to $1,000 if she doesn't live in a major city, or get a roommate or two just for a little bit to stack some coin. You'd be in a lot better situation. Also, car note, almost $600 a month for the car note. Get a $5,000 to $10,000 car in cash, and you would have a lot lower insurance on the car if it's older, so that would bring your expenses a lot lower. Again, I don't know this person from beans, but to me, personally, it sounds like she's living above her means. If she could really afford $2,000 in rent and almost $1,000 with the car insurance and the car note combined, she wouldn't be complaining about the $10 oranges. Just saying. If you don't want to end up like one of these people that's getting broken and absolutely obliterated by the economy, make sure you follow some of the advice that you heard in this video. If you found anything helpful or informative at all from watching this video or entertaining, please drop a like and a sub on the video. It greatly helps for the YouTube algorithm, guys. We're trying to get this channel to 1,000 subs as soon as possible. YouTube thinks you'll like one of my videos popping up below. But until next time, damn, I left the freaking recording shit on. I was supposed to turn my TV up. Until next time, J2A TV out of here. Love y'all boys and y'all gals. Peace.